Hello. July is macro month here at Camera Lessons Online, and today we are going to be looking at how to add some pop and some drama to your macro images by adding flash. Here we go. We look at macro imagery and we say that we're gonna go and we're gonna get next to something and we're gonna shoot a pretty picture, and that's usually great. But we can add some creativity and some drama to our macro imagery and a lot of creative impact for you as the photographer, and we're gonna do it today by adding flash. Now, everything that we do here is brought to you by Camera Lessons Online. That's the website and the business. We've got a 4-hour introductory course on photography. We've got several books that we've published, including one on macro photography with a whole chapter dedicated to just this subject, and that is adding flash. So first, let's take a look at an image I've got set up here without flash added to it. And it's okay, it's fine. It's the same image that a lot of people would end up shooting, and that might be exactly what you're looking for. But let's look at what we can do if we add flash. So I have a transmitter on my camera, I have my flash, and I have a receiver on the flash, and they're set up to fire together. So if I set up my camera and I fire, then I'm going to be producing the image, and it looks like this. And so we're going to have a big difference there in what we're getting. And you're seeing that the background is a lot darker. Now, why is that? When we add a flash to a subject, we're adding light to the subject, and so we change the aperture in order to get the subject to be lit appropriately. Now, as a result, when you add flash to a shot, you don't make the subject brighter, but since the subject has more light on it, and we don't make the subject brighter, we make the background darker. So the brighter the flash you add to a scene, the darker the background gets. Now, you can add just a little bit of flash, and you can be very subtle and darken the frame so that you really emphasize some highlights, add some flash to the front, and you can get a beautiful image. You can also add quite a bit of flash and make your background really dark. I'm shooting at about 2 in the afternoon today, and I'm able to get completely black backgrounds just by adding some flash. Now, I have to have a receiver and a transmitter because this flash does not have radio frequency built in, but if you have the Sony f60M or the f45N, the Canon EX600 or 430 RTs, or the SB5000 from Nikon, you have radio frequency built in. And there are many other lighting companies such as Nissan and other ones that have radio frequency flashes as well. Photox Mitros is a good example of that. And so we put a transmitter on our camera, and we can set many of those to TTL. But if you don't have TTL, and I am working with a manual flash today, we take our camera, lower the ISO all the way. In manual, we'd set our shutter speed to the sync speed. This is usually 1/200th of a second with most cameras. And then we would set our flash to something about half power to start with. I like to start at half power because the recycle time is a lot better, and it gives me a little bit of room for growth. Now, if I've got my flash pretty much right near my subject, then at that moment, I very well might be setting up at f11 to f16, so you can really darken that aperture. I have shot some of these images at f22. If your images is too bright or too dark, then you would change aperture or power output or distance of flash to subject in order to change the way that it looks. But by doing so, you can control how dark your background is and how dramatic the lighting on your subject is, and the direction that that lighting is coming from. If I want to be overhead or camera right or camera left, I would have that power entirely in my control. Anyway, I hope that this adds a little bit of flexibility or creativity to you as the macro photographer, and maybe it's fun to play with, or maybe that you learned something. If so, give us a like and a subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.